And now to talk more about the key moves that powered Oracle's ascent, how it's managing to compete with such larger cloud providers, and its unique positioning in the market, I am joined now by Dave Vellante. He is the co-founder of SiliconANGLE and host of theCUBE. Good morning, Dave.
Hey, Trinity, good to see you. Thanks
it's
for
always
having
great
me.
to see you. Thank you for joining us on the show this morning. Now let's talk about why you are here. You're actually having an event here. You're working with the Oracle team. Talk to me more about it.
Yeah, as you know, John Furrier and I are building out our presence here at the NYSE. Sonny Singh from Oracle, he runs the financial services business for Oracle, is ringing the bell today. We're going to have him on later today, and we're running in partnership with the NYSE Wired, our collaboration there, we're running a CXO series. X stands for CIO, CISO, CEO, CFOs. We got all the CXOs coming on, and we're going to unpack what's happening in the technology and finance markets.
And you know, Oracle has recently emerged as a major cloud player in this space. Talk to me more about this. What do you think sets it apart from other key players that are currently out there on the market from your vantage point?
You know, I think anytime when you talk about Oracle, Trinity, you got to start at the top with Larry Ellison. So he's like the alpha of Silicon Valley.
Yep.
And so it starts from his ethos, which is very much focused on technology and R&D. Now, back in the early 2000s or 2010s, he made some controversial statements about cloud. Many in the audience might remember. He said, oh, it's no big deal. It's just servers and databases and storage up on the internet. And people interpreted that as he was poo-pooing cloud, and then they started to invest in cloud. Their first version, like many first versions, really weren't that good. But over time, they've gotten better and better and better. And so what Oracle has done is they've essentially differentiated by becoming what I call the database cloud. So they have the best database, the most mission critical database, and then they've built out from there. They're investing heavily in CapEx, in GPUs, they've got really strong networking. And they've got relationships now with all what used to be considered their competitors, the big three US hyperscalers, AWS, Google, and Microsoft, where they're running Oracle databases inside of those three hyperscale clouds.
Yeah, you know, this is a company that was founded back in 1977. In fact, it was the original company to commercialize structured query language, as you said, SQL. So talk to me more about this shift, especially as the technology landscape, the AI landscape has constantly shifted and evolved over time, especially with the implementation of AI and how it's really impacting the cloud space. So what would you say is the key niche for Oracle, and how it's going to continue to remain innovative and ahead of the curve amid such strong competition that's out there?
So I would say their niche is pretty big. I mean, they're a $50 billion plus company. They've got almost a $500 billion market cap now. And so they made an acquisition quite some time ago, probably 15, 16 years ago, of Sun Microsystems, which was a hardware company. Oracle's a software company. And what that did for them is it allowed them to essentially be the iPhone of the enterprise, where they've integrated hardware and software running together. And so as a result, their database and their software runs faster than anything else. So their big differentiator is that integrated hardware and software, a very strong mission critical database, and then up the stack, they've made tons of acquisitions over the years for application companies, and they've done the hard work, it's called Oracle Fusion, of fusing all those applications together. So in the context of AI, we always say, you can't have AI without data.
Yeah.
Well, your data has to be consistent, it has to be harmonized. So I'll give you an example. What's revenue? Well, revenue, it could be bookings, it could be ARR, it could be NRR. So by fusing together all those different applications, all the data and the metadata and the business logic that's inside those applications, Oracle can actually serve up better data for the agents, that's the new buzzword, the agentic AI, for agents acting as humans to act on that data and take actions on behalf of the organization.
What do you think is in store for Oracle? Where do you see the trajectory of their business model going over the next 3 to 5 years?
I mean, remarkably, it's accelerating, Trinity. I mean, they just upped their CAGR forecast to the mid to high teens. For a $53–55 billion company, that's really quite incredible. And so I see them as the cross-cloud play because of their database expertise, and I think they're going to continue to, their AI strategy is somewhat different. Rather than charging for AI, they're bundling AI, as are many companies, into their infrastructure, into their database, into their applications. They've got an autonomous database, so their strategy is really to drive that automation, drive labor costs out, and compete on the basis of their mission critical database.
What are some other big trends you're seeing right now when it comes to the cloud space?
Yeah, so I think AI is obviously the #1 trend. Everybody's spending like crazy on GPUs, as you know. It's benefiting NVIDIA in a big way. People are waiting for, okay, when's the ROI going to come?
Exactly.
The top line macro, if you look at IT spending, is not growing that much. It's maybe growing at 3.5%. About 45% of customers tell us they're stealing from other budgets to fund their Gen AI. And so I think what I see in the future is that's got to pay back. It's got to be self-funding, or else we're going to come into what Gartner calls the trough of disillusionment. Many people would say that we're there today. But it's got to throw off cash to be self-funding, and I think it will happen. I think it's going to take some time for this agent-based vision to take hold because our data is so discombobulated right now.
Now, briefly, we have about 30 seconds left, Dave. Talk to me about what our viewers can expect to see on SiliconANGLE's theCUBE.
Well, so as I say, Trinity, we've got the CXO series, we've got CISOs, we have chief investment officers, we have CEOs of startups, we've got, as I say, Sunny Singh and Oracle. We're going to go deep into what's happening in financial services. 2 days of wall-to-wall coverage that we'll be releasing over the next couple of weeks.
And where can we watch this?
So go to thecube.net and go to siliconangle.com for all the news.
Always a pleasure, Dave.
Thanks, Trinity.
Thank you.